The ball tank, and last I left off, I started painting on it. And first color I used is, because we're doing the modulation route here, I used the Russian dark base, and you can do it two ways. You can either spray the whole model, which I've done, or you can take the darker color and do some pre-shading, pre-shade the panels and everything, and then go in with the additional colors and start painting the model. I went ahead and sprayed the whole model with the dark base. And then started with step number 2, Russian green base, which is a lighter green. I sprayed that on, and I sprayed that on where you can see the actual, I want to say pre-shading showing through. You can see it on the hatches there, a little bit around the guns and everything. And then one beauty thing about modulation, you can go back in and touch up a few little areas and everything. I like to post shade a lot because I like to, I think it gives a little more added realism. But anyway, we've done step 1 and we have done step 2 on Mr. Ball Tank here. So next step on the modulation route, we are going to do the Russian light base, which that'll lighten up a lot of the areas. And step 4, I'm going to use a little bit of it. I'm not going to go overboard because that's basically a light green, and we just want to hit very lightly with the airbrush just a few little areas where you know, I want to say, you know, with the sun baked it and everything, just makes the highlights you know, more believable. But anyway, so I got all that painted. I did have to go back in and sand a few little, you ever miss a spot? I missed a seam on one of these guns. I thought I got everything on there, but anyway, that's no big deal. We'll spray that once we get coat number 3 on here. But anyway, got the greens on, and I'm going to wait till I get all the modulation done on it, and then I'm not going to weather it till I get it on the base. Once I get it on the base, then I can go to town on it. But I want to get the greens on, I want to seal it, and then I want to try to get the base coat of the track on, and then I'll mount it on the base, and that way I can put it on the base, and we can weather it and everything, and of course, you know, turn it and don't have to fight the movable ball. But anyway, that's where I am on Mr. Ball Tank. So we'll try to get a little more done this weekend, painting the Russian green colors on him. And then of course we got to work on Helga, but we got to work on her when we get the ball tank mounted to the base. So while things dry, I like to look around, you know, what else to build. And I would like to build an architectural model, and I was thinking of not necessarily the Blade Runner buildings, but you can see do like a futuristic building. And I'd like to do one from Blade Runner, but I was thinking, you know, Fifth Element or a few other you know, other sci-fi movies, because the modeling detail on the buildings are just phenomenal. I pretty much got the Blade Runner Falcon model started, and I thought about finishing it and doing something, you know, something similar, you know, make a model kit of that, you know, for a display. And where was one I was looking at? Oh, I was watching the video of the miniatures where they took a, you know, just found objects like a water bottle and everything and made a building out of it, you know, for Blade Runner. And that's just something, an architectural model just looks pretty darn slick, you know. And one that caught my eye was this one right here. I thought, you know, something like that would be cool to build, or, you know, something straight up like that, and you know, put lights in it where the windows light up. But anyway, I was just thinking ahead here, thinking out loud. I may or may not do it. I haven't really found a building that entices me, you know. Anyway, it's just I don't know, it just looks something cool, and it's something different. And I know a lot of people, you know, just different. And I really don't build a lot of building models, and I thought that would be pretty darn something slick to do. And I was watching the video where they had them all laser cutted and everything. It's just but anyway, I think you know, oh, you know, 18 20 inches tall, you know, for a building, I think that would look pretty darn slick. And do a little spaceport, you know, where you can have I want to say HO scale vehicles, you know, like on top, or some, you know, little hover car or something. I was just thinking ahead here. But anyway, I don't know. We'll see what happens and see what we want to do. But anyway, I'm just thinking out loud. But anyway, that's what I've got going on today. We are thinking about doing a architectural building, and we are continuing on with the paint modulation on Mr. Ball Tank. So that's what I got going on today. So stay tuned for the next exciting episode.